Hello, welcome to episode 6 of this secret series that accompanies the Ideal Client Workshop. Today, as you will see, this episode is called I Like You Very Much, Just As You Are. Of course, said by the great, is he great? I don't know. I haven't seen all of the films. I don't know quite how that ends. But in that episode, in that scene rather, in Bridget Jones's diary, I think, Mark Darcy says, I like you very much, just as you are. And I think that this is very important in business. And I think in this world of self-development and growth and really unlocking our potential and being the best version of ourselves that we can be, I think sometimes we forget that where we are right now is brilliant. It's valuable, it's truthful, it's authentic, it's useful, and it's lovely. It's great. And now where we go next is just building on that. And so I want you to firstly, I don't want you to assume that you have to change everything before you really go for your business goals. So when it comes to creating ideal clients, I think that sometimes people go, oh my goodness, I've now got to build this and I've got to do all this behind the scenes stuff and I need a whole new wardrobe and I've got to change server and I've got to do all of this stuff. And I've essentially got to make it perfect. This word perfection is a real bugbear of mine because the more I am aware of it, the more I see it everywhere. Everybody is talking about this in their content, especially if it's aspirational. The perfect morning, the perfect smoothie, the perfect workout gear, the perfect morning for it, the perfect tablescape, etc., etc. In order to create those perfect moments, there's often many takes that you don't see. And so I want you to fully show up from where you are right now because your clients and your customers will appreciate it. And I think that I really realized this when I had kids. And I think lots of businesses also realized this in the pandemic. Now, would I have a baby on my lap crying through a workshop? I really would not want that to be the case, absolutely. But there have been times when I've hosted a live workshop to hundreds of people and my baby has just slept on me because sometimes that was easier than taking the baby off and then passing the lovely baby to Matt to hold whilst I did this workshop. I can operate a computer one-handed. I could do that. And then if the baby woke up, I could pass him or her to Matt in that way. And that would show also that I was who I said I was. You know, I want to be a great mum. I want to be a present mum. But also, I too am somebody juggling things. And I think if you step into this perfect version of the expert the whole time, I think you lose a little bit of that rapport and that sense of understanding your ideal clients. I would love you to then think about the tweaks that you do want to make. Now, I'm not saying that you have to change everything, but there are also some parts of your personal brand or the way you connect with clients where you're just a bit like, all right, I need to just upgrade that a little bit. I need to work that through. And sometimes what happens is you bring new stuff in, and so suddenly the old stuff looks a bit creaky. So for Christmas last year, I got this really beautiful Le Creuset roasting tin. And suddenly, and like a Le Creuset spatula and various others, I love Le Creuset, not sponsored, but available. And suddenly, as soon as you start to bring these new things, it's like, why am I holding on to that awful blunt knife that I've had since my student days? I haven't been a student for 23 years. Why am I still holding on to it? It's time to recycle it and move it on in that way. And so I want you, instead of thinking, oh my goodness, I've got to do this whole thing, this whole change, thinking about the small tweaks that you can make. And as always, making sure that being you is the goal. And really testing this out in the body. So asking yourself, how does that feel? Does this copy that I'm writing in this more expert, elevated state, does that feel good to me? Does that feel appropriate? Does that feel like it would be something that I would say? You can do all these tests every step of the way. Finally, building on strong foundations. The way that you counteract something like imposter syndrome or not feeling good enough or feeling out of your depth is to come back to strong foundations. So like those moments where suddenly in a swimming pool, if you're not a confident swimmer and suddenly you're like, oh gosh, I feel like I'm in the deep end here. If you can get yourself back to the side and hold on and just put your feet against the wall and just ground yourself, that's when you're going to be able to then move forward and then do those things. And that's what we need to do for our ideal clients and our customers, not only in our growth in terms of a business owner, but to fully support our clients, we need to be a safe place where they can land, where they have that sense of, if I spend money here, it's going to feel really good. So let me know how you get on with all of those things. Always, as always, bear in mind your ideal clients. What version of you would they really value? What do they need to see? And don't hold back. If you haven't subscribed to the Secret series, I will leave the link to the playlist down below. Equally, if you haven't watched the workshop, go ahead and do that. And if you are ready to come in and join us for your digital disco, add magic at checkout to save 20%. If you've got questions, if you want to set up a free chat, just email me hello@nickyraby.com. Lots of love. Bye.